Hello everyone, and welcome to another monthly reading recap video. I read 6 really great books this month. The first 2 books that I read this month are both on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have KU, I would definitely recommend the Windy City series. Now, I started off with book 1. It's called Mile High by Tomforde. This book was perfect to get me out of my reading slump. It is about a woman named Stevie who moves to Chicago, and she ultimately moves in with her twin brother, who is a professional basketball player, but not around much in his apartment, and he feels like he doesn't see his sister much given that he's constantly traveling around the country. And so he offers an extra room in his home so he can see his sister more, and also so that way she can start her new job. Stevie has recently become a flight attendant for a private plane, which is going to be working with a professional hockey team. And so Stevie has been assigned to work directly with the players. So yes, this is going to be a hockey romance, but not just any hockey romance. This is not like a typical enemies to lovers situation or Grumpy Sunshine. Stevie meets a hockey player named Xanders who comes off very arrogant and rude, and really he brings up a lot of emotions for her when it comes to her body image issues, and so trigger warning if that is a sensitive topic for you. However, the author doesn't go too in depth with body image issues. It's brought up a couple times. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was really quite fun and a perfect book to get me out of my reading slump. Now, the second book in the series is about Ryan, Stevie's twin brother. Stevie asks Ryan to house her friend Indy, who is also a flight attendant. They both met on the job working for that private plane for that hockey team. And Indy needs a place to stay in Chicago, so Stevie asks her brother for a favor to allow Indy to move in, at least for a short period of time, while she gets her feet on the ground. And Ryan really hates the idea at first. So they are a little bit of enemies to lovers in this book, but Ryan is a professional basketball player, so this is more of a basketball romance, which I've never read before. But this book started off a little bit slow. There is a bit of fake dating in here, and then it just hits the ground running. I thought it was so good that I actually gave it 4.5 stars. I thought this book was a little bit better than the first one, and so I'm really excited to read the 3rd book in the series, which I think is going to be the final book of the series, but I'm not 100% sure. And it is on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have KU, definitely use that opportunity to read the Windy City series, because I thought this book was really good. The next set of books that I read was from the Inheritance Games series. Now, I picked up this book originally from my library, and I heard good things about it, and it is a mystery. Essentially, this series is about a young girl named Avery. Her full name is Avery Kylie Grams, and she's from Connecticut. Her older sister is taking care of her, but they're just kind of making it. And Avery's recently gotten a scholarship to the University of Connecticut. She's very excited to go. She wants to study actuarial studies. She really likes puzzles, and she's great at figuring them out. Now, one day, Avery randomly gets pulled out of school and gets put on a plane with her older sister, who is her legal guardian, to head down to Texas for a reading of a will for a man she's never met. And she's very confused by all of this, of course. During the reading of the will, it comes out that this billionaire philanthropist that Avery knows absolutely nothing about has decided to give his entire fortune to her and none of his family members. So this book is trying to essentially start the story as to why. I personally gave this book 3 stars, more so because I didn't like the ending. I hate when books leave me with questions at the end, and so I did not think that I was going to pick up the second book. So after giving myself a bit of a reading break, I decided to get the second book in the series, but I didn't want to wait for my library to get the second book for me. So I actually listened to the audiobook, and I thought it was incredible. It was so good. I actually gave the book 4 stars because it was exciting from start to finish. I felt like the first book just kind of laid the groundwork for where the series was going to go, and the second book really just kind of was the meat and potatoes, and so I really enjoyed it. I think I read it within like I listened to it within like a couple of hours. Want to say maybe it was like 2 days or so, but it was really good. So I immediately placed the third book on hold at my library. Now, I had very high hopes for the third book of the series. I expected it to answer all of my questions, and also just to kind of expect more mystery and a bit more of a roller coaster, but unfortunately did fall a little bit flat for me. So I gave it 3 stars. Now, I did learn a bit more about the billionaire philanthropist family and his security and the attorneys that are involved in the reading of the will and all of that good stuff. But I just felt like it fell flat. I felt like there was too much going on. I thought the author was really trying to make it more of a mystery, and just to make it, like the third season of a Netflix show. That's basically what the third book felt like. I had such high expectations going in, and it was alright, but there's a short story after the books, and I just didn't really have any desire to read it because it was okay. The ending was just alright. And so the last book of the month that I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Now, this one is so crazy popular, so I felt like I should read it. Also, I think someone suggested this book to me, and I went in a little bit skeptical, but I really liked this one. It was so interesting. This is basically like an interview style book about an actress named Evelyn Hugo who decides to hand select a writer. She hasn't given an interview in years, and so people are very excited for this, especially the media, because they want to hear more about her life. And so Evelyn Hugo hand selects this woman named Monique, who works at a publishing company, to do the interview. Now, the publishing company does not want Monique to do the interview. In fact, they've selected a couple of different writers for Monique to work with, for Evelyn to work with, but Evelyn decides that she will only work with Monique.
Essentially, the book is about both Evelyn Hugo's life and Monique's life side by side, and it is a little tiny bit of a mystery as well, as we're trying to figure out why Monique was selected by Evelyn to write about this story. And so there's, a bit of a plot twist, but I'm going to leave this review pretty spoiler free. So just do yourself a favor and pick up a copy of this book, because it was actually really good and it did live up to some of the hype.
All right, and so that is it for today's monthly reading wrap up. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.